All right, back again with, I was going to say a mail day, but absolutely nothing in the mailbox. But I had an unexpected trip today. I was heading back from the thrift store yesterday for some reason. I didn't find anything there, but on my way out, I saw this sign. I think it was a thrift store. It was somewhere I was coming back from. And I saw the sign that said Rummage sale, and I was like, oh, it's probably too late to go to that. But again, I guess yesterday was Wednesday, but I think it really officially started Thursday, which is today. And then head out into the country, and one thing led to another, took the wrong road. And I saw a sign for an estate sale, so I said, well, let's go to the Rummage sale first, because I kind of know where that is. And it took me a little while to get there, out in the middle of nowhere. I've been there before, and man, they had some really good stuff. I got this monitor here, this Acer monitor, which is in really good condition. Little, I think, a bit of a price tag there. But it was a whopping $5, and my other monitor has had some sort of ghosting or some kind of weird shadowing at the top there, so that's going to be replaced, so that's cool. For a whopping $5, I think they charge $20 or $25 for used monitors at the Goodwill store, and this looks like it's mint. It's awesome condition. I might have to essentially change the height of this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. And the other monitor will just be thrown in storage or just gotten rid of. It still works, but it just not, it's really heavy and hot and bulky. So it's good to have a fresh monitor here. I'm really happy with this one so far. And they had lots of 25-cent clothes. I'd show you the Volkswagen shirt that I got, but I'm actually kind of wearing it. Washed up some clothes there. And then after that, I think I spent a whole $6.25. I got a kid's book, which I was going to share with you, but about soccer. And I'm not sure where I put that, so I think I misplaced that. I'm trying to, not buy stuff unnecessarily, but I went to this estate sale, and it was huge. I guess there was a crazy, like an hour or two before, there was a crazy mad morning rush, and all the vintage clothes just went like that. And I could tell you, I probably knew who those people were. There's a lot of Goodwill bins in estate sale people that are the exact same people. I have a feeling I know, because there's people that just jump on all the estate sales. But there was plenty of interesting stuff there, plenty of price stuff, unpriced stuff. There was some unsorted boxes, and I'm not sure if we were supposed to be going through them. One guy was dumping the boxes out and making a huge mess and wrecking things, practically. I don't know, he was not averse to ripping things apart and breaking things. I don't know what his problem was, but he was like, help me move this cabinet, there might be stuff behind it and stuff like that. And he was, I don't know what he was doing, bought a bunch of rusty stuff. I have no idea what all that was about. I've seen that guy before, but I didn't want, some people I just don't want to mess with. I want to, if I don't I'm trying to follow estate sale etiquette, and and I think some of the estate sale people are letting us go through this stuff, and then one lady came by and said, oh, I wanted to grab all the tax files or whatever. It's ancient stuff. I don't have everything to share, and it was mustier than heck. Mustier than heck. I even have a scout uniform, and I'll try to share those patches, but I think the uniform has to go. And as much as I like to keep the patches on the uniforms for historical sake, I think the patches will have to be removed off of this. And I don't remember, because I went and spent $10 at first. Then she said, oh, how about 13? I said, and I started to say something. He's like, well, I said, all I have is this, or I said, and I started counting up the stuff, and she said, oh, how about 15? And she said, oh, wait a minute, that's going up, isn't it? Oops. And then I started to put one item back. I said, well, I really didn't need this. And I don't know how she was individually pricing everything. And she said, well, give me 10. And I said, oh, fine. I didn't want to mess with it, You want to keep on the good side of these estate sale people, because there's a lot of other stuff. And I bought something else for that I won't show. It's, I want to say business purposes, but just something there. So I had to put, so it was good that they took credit card for that, and I used cash for everything else. I might go back tomorrow. We'll see. Again, it's supposed to rain, and where they're going to put everything and how things are going to be organized and sorted, but man, this stuff stinks. And the whole garage smells just from one bag. But I found this Oregon Green Guard service record and manual. Oregon Green Guard. Smokey says protect your future by being careful today. This is like probably out of the 40s or 50s. I don't really know. And it's got somebody's name in it, so I can't really... I'm not sure if there was a person there, again, in that weird pile of stuff, tons of old toys and little bits of things, and I have only bought a little bit of stuff because I was testing the waters, what they would, sometimes the more you bring up, the crazier the price goes. Sometimes you bring a little bit of amount, and sometimes I just really didn't know. There was some other advertisements and promotional stuff. There was one thing I would have liked to have, but the picture was cut off, and the things were kind of broken, so there was no telling where that was. I think I know where it was. And I got some postcards and photographs here. I say photographs, but postcard photographs. This is Frankie Vaughan, international singing star, featuring those nutty novelites, Jack Cole and his dancers at the dunes. So there's that one there. Man, it does really reek there, so this has to go somewhere else. There were actually mice, dead mice in the stuff I was looking at, so I had to be very, very careful. I mean, it was in a different box. I don't think I didn't grab from that box. These came from somewhere else. But I told the people working the estate, I said, you need to set these things aside because there's dead things in there. Dead things, Mikey, dead things. And then, I'm not sure who this is with the dancers there, but again, I really wanted to keep, this is Tony Bennett featuring Ford and Reynolds at the Dunes or something, A Night at Minsky, starring Tony. So I think that's Tony Bennett there. That's cool. Again, I will air these out and clean them up and make sure there's no dead things on it. Dead things, Mikey. Dead things. That's a Goonies reference. But I got a whole pile of postcards here, and some of them have writing on them. Some of them are from Salem, Oregon. Again, we'll have to figure this out. I was trying to save anything that has historical importance for a little local museum here. So, but I didn't find, found some stuff from neighboring towns, but nothing kind of regarding to the town that I was currently in, so, or the one I needed the stuff for. There's some sort of motel postcard. I didn't look at these. I just said, oh, postcards, and I took the whole stack, knowing full well that I just basically, the way I presented it, all calm, cool, and collected, and not panicky, and not thinking I'm getting a huge deal or anything. I just didn't know. I mean, I might have done it if she said $20, and I really don't know. Again, I can't be really, throwing money, Again, if I was in an antique store, these would be $1 or $2 each, and I would leave those because there's no value in these postcards. Maybe 25 cents, 50 cents total. It's really warm in here, so I'm going to turn the fan on here. Again, I don't need to show you all the different things here. None of these have a ton of value. Again, I got to be very, very careful here what I do with these because they were in kind of a bad situation. They were outside and it's supposed to rain, and so I was telling them that it's going to be a shame if this stuff gets ruined. So I don't know what they're doing tomorrow, but I might go back just to see. And I had to put some stuff in my car, and then I was buying some more stuff. He said, oh, you're back. And I really never left. But there was a lot of people there for quite a long time because there was barns and all kinds of things to look at. You missed something, stuff gets moved around. There was furniture that was like, tons of it had already sold, probably to one guy. I think I know the guy who bought the furniture. Some of it just needed a good polish, but some of it was really expensive, like $75, and maybe they got a package deal for buying it. I don't really know. But I don't carry that kind of money with me, and I don't need furniture. But some of the smaller accent pieces were pretty cool if you, knew some reupholstering or some, surface, touch up on the, and this guy would just clean the dirt off and just sell it as is at the swap meet. I think that's probably who bought it. But again, I'm never at a swap or at an estate sale right there because it could have been a mile long. But an hour or two later, it clears out, and sometimes I just don't need to deal with all the clothing guys that really rip apart everything. I'm almost certain I know who those guys were. I didn't see any of them at a Goodwill store because I went to go and share my finds with my friend at the Goodwill store, and he was not there. So he was doing something else today. Not I'm trying to see what the I don't know. Saw something there. That's a Salem address that's on the back of that one. The Harris Club there. I don't know if I have anything else to share here because I kind of forgot. Well, I'll show you some Hot Wheels that I picked up. Again, none of these things I planned to pick up. So, this is just money I had left over from the card show. And I said, this would be handy for that sort of thing here. I'm kind of stuffed. I had a pizza and some soda. I should probably have done that there, but... And then, boy, these just smell. But, again, there's ways of doing that, putting in the freezer and stuff like that. I don't know the best way of dealing with it because it's paper stuff here. I don't want to have any further damage to it. Remember when stamps were 3 cents? I don't. there's only one person in the groups that watch me that might know. Maybe it's Orlando. I don't know who would remember 3-cent stamps there. Maybe Tony might remember 5-cent stamps or 4-cent stamps. But there's the Villa Motel. These are mostly out of Texas and Vegas and all that stuff. This is Juarez. Again, I just grabbed the whole stack. I'm not really worried about it. These are different people from the name that I recognize from the plate. I don't know who these people are, even though they live, 15 minutes away from me. I want to say 15, but, you're driving the country, it feels like it goes on forever. I think this might be Buena Park, California, the Barbershop Ghost Town, Knott's Berry Farm. So that one is kind of cool there. Again, nothing super valuable there. I've got, like I said, I've got some other small things to share at some point. Oh yes, and I got this bag here. So like I said, I have normal days I like to go to the Goodwill store, but I couldn't go yesterday because I had some phone issues, which I've now got squared away. And I picked up some dice from my friend. Like I said, he wasn't there. Everybody's marveling. Once I showed him what this was, I found a little Grand Canyon National Park ashtray of some kind. I thought that was kind of fun. That's glass price at 79 cents a pound, so my whole bill was like $1.26. And then of course there's the dice. And green and white dice, black, green, and white. My friend will be happy to get those. And then I got some postcards here, more postcards, yes. And I got some photographs, but I don't know if I'll be able to share all of them with you. There's some sort of National Republican Senatorial Committee. Some guy from the National Republican Senatorial is recognized for outstanding commitment. But I cannot show you who it is. And I think all the autographs on here are auto pen. They look like they're auto pen because there's squiggles in them, or they're pre-printed. I won't say who the guy's name is, but there's Bob Dole's probably auto pen there. It's kind of weird. It's kind of jaggedy and shaky, and there's that one. Just because you're a politician, and then this was best wishes to somebody, George Bush. But again, that looks like it's actually printed on there. But the guy here, I believe that's him there with the whole Bush group. There's Bush and a bunch of other people. I don't know who they are. But yeah, there's some sort of George Bush thing there. And either it's a secretarial. But yeah, it looks like it's part of the paper. So I don't know how that is. And it's got the guy's name on the best wishes to this guy. So again, I want to keep that private until I can know what that is. And then somebody's photo album showed up, bunches of them. And there's Metallica Rules and 88. So somebody, I think, graduated in 88 from either college or high school. Beat up Ford Escort of some kind, probably like an 84, I'm guessing. I have no 82 to 84 Escort of some kind. I just thought it was cool, the Metallica Rules. There were the two girls that were on the top of the car with that one. I didn't grab that one. Probably should have, but I just wanted the car. I just thought it was funny. There was a couple other car pics that I left, but Oregon postcards here, which I desperately needed because anytime I sell something through online or whatever, I throw in an Oregon postcard. No, it's not an eBay type thing there, but a haystack rock, and I use these for autograph requests and other things, give those out to people. So very, very cool to have all of these. They're all Oregon Coast postcards, and what's funny is that they came in 2 different installments, and I grabbed every one I could find. I probably missed 2 or 3, and some of them got smashed corners from the bins, and I might keep some of these for my personal collection. Very happy to have these Oregon Coast. Again, these things are about 35 cents to $1 at every gift shop now. So, if I got 25 of these or something crazy, then that's darn near 25 bucks, and $1.26 I got the fun little ashtray, interesting pictures. And there's a really strange picture that came with, I can't show you this one, and I think it's a made-up shot. I don't know. But it's an old picture, but it's like very much in the news today. Some guy with some sort of semi-automatic weapon or something like that. I don't know, like an ice guy or something like that. Very strange, startling 2 people or something like that. I think it's a composed shot, but very weird. and I cannot show that one for reasons there's just, but I can show this one. This was in the frame, and some other documents were behind it. The Richard Nixon Library, Birthplace of Yorba Linda, California, Collector Series photograph. It looks like it's a little on the faded side there, but there's Reagan, Nixon, Bush, and Ford. So 4 living presidents right there. Carter was not there for obvious reasons. Oregon Coast, and this is a fold-out postcard, so it's a huge one. So that's neat. Another coast. I mean, I could have a really cool coast, you know, just get a little folder or whatever and then put all these in there. That'd be cool. I could do that too, and I might still, but some of these will go. I just don't need to have every single one of them. And too bad there wasn't one of Devil's Punch Bowl, because I have one of the signs for that. There's the Needles, that's what it says there. And then there's the Pacific Ocean. I like that one just for whatever reason. And a couple other Oregon Coast postcards here. I almost never go to the retail stores to look for Hot Wheels, and I wasn't there. I was getting a computer part so I can extend a cable so I can use my laptop at another table. And I found 2 Matchbox cars. Somebody told me to look for the school bus, which I didn't buy. I saw about 4 of them. He said, and this was $1.10, mind you, and the other one was $1.99. The complete set of the others one here, but this is a really cool 2021 Koenigsegg Gemera. And I don't know if it's Sweden or where this is from. If I just type in Koenigsegg, Koenigsegg, I'll just look that one up here. Get out of this one here. I can get to it here. I know how to spell it. Cohen. Yeah, Koenigsegg. I'll see where that company is from. And let's see, Swedish manufacturer. Yeah, you think, oh yeah, Koenig is German, but no, it's Swedish. That's what I was pretty sure. And it's got a really nice matte finish with gold trim there. It's really cool looking. When it was in the store, it just looked super awesome, and I had to take that. $1.10 for that, which I think was a pretty good deal. And then this one where the complete set was not there. Everything about, except for 3, maybe 4. So anything that was looked like a Jurassic Park Ford Explorer was gone. But there was this cool Jeep with the logos on the side of it. I forget whether Biosign or something like that. I don't know anything about this one here. Some people like the movie, I guess, or I don't know. Adam the Woo, if you watch him, he blundered into the premiere, I guess, for this, or showing of this in England, I think, in London. So I thought that was kind of funny there. I picked this up the same day, and this is $1.99 for this, and it's cool because it's got all this and that, and it's not like one of those $6 ones. Very happy to get this one. They'll probably sell out. There's a blue ball one that was not there as well, and there was another, I can't remember. So I can't remember if there was 20 odd in the set, or but a good, 3/4 of the set looked like it was there. But some of the vehicles just, to me, and then this one I just had to have. There was some other, like I said, there were some other cool ones that I really would have liked to have. And again, $1.99 is not bad, but I cannot be, loading up on crazy amounts of stuff, unfortunately. That's why I don't do estate sales very often. But again, it was down the street, and I was able to update my wardrobe for next to nothing. Very happy with everything. And again, I got a better replaced monitor. I was been looking to replace my monitor for a long time. But when your monitor is working, it's not 100% dead, you don't get rid of it. But for $5, good grief, that was a heck of a deal. And because it's one of these church sales, I was pretty sure that it worked, and it worked great. No problem. So happy days are here again. No baseball cards to be found anywhere. But I'm changing this channel here where I'm trying to eliminate some of the baseball cards. There'll be some scout patches will be showing up next week because I ordered another small lot of those to get my 400 that I need to be cut down into like 350 or something. Closer down to 300, maybe half of that by the end of summer. Probably not, but I want to just do this little tiny spending instead of big spending. You know, I don't want to start new projects. I want to finish the old ones here. I'll figure out what to do with these massively stinky postcards. I might leave them outside for an afternoon, but again, and then I'll try to show you the scalp patches in the next video. I just had too much stuff. We're almost at 20 minutes, so hope you have a good weekend. If you do any estate sales, you know, or if you'd like to show that stuff, it'd be fun to see something different there. And again, it's not my thing, and it's really weird filching through somebody else's stuff, but again, it was more or less all for sale, and I really had a pretty good day, and thank you for watching.